the little town of Asheville lived a really lonely boy by the name Tony. Tony was in 8th grade and had no friends in school at all. He would go to school, get bullied the whole day, and just needed to come home and get treated the same by his parents. His parents could get angry over the tiniest thing ever, forcing him to do chores for them. Everything just sucked. The only one who saw the problematic situation was his little sister named Callum. But whatever Callum tried to do to make her brother happy again was just futile because of the anger.
Hey, I'm sorry. Did they get a little too angry again?
Why do you care?
I'm sorry if I asked, but I feel so sorry for you.
Okay, I guess.
Tony had lost his grip on reality. He didn't care what would happen to him until the first day at school after summer.
All right, class. Who is ready for school? Well, I am very happy to see you guys again. Well, I should start off with introducing a new kid that is going to be in this class. Say hello, Salish.
Hello.
Salish was a girl whose parents were very busy often, but they were very caring and loved their daughter very deeply. She did not have much luck with getting friends either. They moved to new school after new school because of the bullying, and they could not even imagine what this new school would bring her.
Hey, look at that new pipsqueak. Almost as stupid, that little Tony over there.
When Tony heard his school's biggest bully talk shit about the new defenseless student, he filled with rage.
Hey, Dall, shut your ass up.
Oh? And what will you do, little dickie?
Tony sat down again and felt embarrassment fill up until he got a knock on his shoulder.
Thanks.
Whatever.
After an hour class was finally over, Tony walked to the bus with Callum following.
Who's that new girl?
I don't know.
You see your girlfriend?
The fuck? No.
Hey, you're Tony, right?
Salish came running up behind them.
Yeah. You're Salish?
Yeah, thanks for standing up for me in there. I have no luck with fitting in. It's hard for me to get friends.
Tony could be your friend.
What? Wait,
Sure.
Salish, Tony, and Callum walked up on the bus and drove home. Salish and Tony were surprised to see that they lived just a street across from each other.
Hey, you want to do something?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, don't kiss too much, idiots. See you again later, Tony.
Let's just go.
Neither of them knew that this was the beginning of a great friendship, greater than any other, with even a glimpse of love. What they also did not know was it was the beginning of a big tragedy. But we'll come back to that later on.
We need some place where we could just be ourselves, where we're free, someplace where just you and me could stay together.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Tony and Salish wandered into a nearby forest. They saw a big creek flowing with water.
Wow.
I wonder if we could go to the other side somehow.
What about that tree over there?
Tony pointed towards a fallen tree that made a bridge over the other side.
Yeah, 100%.
Wait! We don't know how long it's been staying there. It could break while we go over.
Wouldn't that just be another adventure? Like, what do we have to lose?
Tony finally agreed and followed her over the tree trunk. They arrived at a lighter and more beautiful part of the woods. They named it Forever. It was the beginning of their new friendship. The next few weeks brought an unexpected change in Tony's life. He and Salish began to spend more and more time together at Foreverland, sharing stories, dreams, and secrets that neither had ever revealed to anyone else. For the first time, Tony felt a sense of belonging, a sense of being understood. The same goes for Salish.
You know, Salish, you're the first person who really seems to get me.
I feel the same way, Tony. It's like we're both lost in this world, but at least we can be lost together.
Their bond grew stronger, and it was a relief for Tony to finally have someone who could see beyond his tough exterior. Even at school, where Gale and his cronies continued their bullying, Tony found it easier to ignore them with Salish by his side.
Hey, look! It's the dynamic duo! Tony and his girlfriend!
Ignore him, Tony. He's not worth our time.
I did not even think of caring about him at all.
They both smiled.
Hey son, take out the trash before you go to bed.
But I am...
No excuses, go on.
Tony walks down to the trash to take it out.
Hey Tony, do the dishes tonight as well. We have much to do.
The next day, Salish called Tony.
Hey, Tone.
Hey, Sals. What's up?
Nothing really. Felt kind of bored. Do you want to do something? Go to Foreverland or something?
My family is going away to California today.
Oh, great. Can I come with you?
Sure.
All right. I will pack some stuff and come over then.
All right. See you soon, Sals.
See you soon, Tones.
As the sun began to rise, Tony packed his bags with a mix of excitement and trepidation. He'd never had a real friend accompany him on a family trip before. Salish arrived at Tony's house with a small suitcase and a wide grin, ready for the adventure.
Hey, Tony. Ready to hit the road?
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Tony's parents reluctantly agreed to let Salish join, their focus more on their own preparations than the company their son kept.
Hey, you must be Salish. Well, jump in the car, we're hitting the road.
Callum waved them off, giving Tony a knowing smile.
Have fun, you two. Don't get into too much trouble.
The car ride to California was long, but Tony and Salish made the most of it. They played games, shared snacks, and talked about everything under the sun. As the landscape changed from familiar forests to sprawling cities and sunlit beaches, they felt a sense of freedom they'd never experienced before.
Should we have left Callum alone at home? No wonder if we get home and it looks wrecked.
No problem at all. If it was Tony who was home alone, though, it would be a different story.
This is amazing. I can't believe we're here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The family checked into a small beachside motel, and Tony's parents immediately set off on their own, leaving Tony and Salish to explore. They wandered along the boardwalk, rode the Ferris wheel, and watched the sunset over the ocean.
This place is like a dream.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for being here, Salish.
Thanks for bringing me, Tony.
As the days passed, Tony and Salish's bond grew even stronger. They discovered hidden coves, built sandcastles, and talked late into the night. Tony felt lighter. The weight of his troubles at home lifted as he spent time with someone who genuinely cared. One evening, as they sat on the beach watching the waves, Salish turned to Tony with a serious expression.
Tony, there's something I've been wanting to tell you.
What is it?
I think I found something in the woods back home. Something strange.
Tony's heart skipped a beat. He had always felt there was something peculiar about their secret place. Forever. But he never imagined it could be more than just a secluded spot in the forest.
What did you find?
It's hard to explain. It was like a door, but not a normal door. It looked ancient, almost like it didn't belong there, and it was covered in strange symbols.
Tony's curiosity was piqued. He had to see this door for himself.
We need to check it out when we get back. Maybe it's just an old piece of history or something.
Maybe. But it felt different, like it was waiting for us.
The rest of their trip passed in a blur. The mystery of the door lingered in the back of their minds. When they finally returned home, the first thing they did was head to Forever.
It's just over here, past the big oak tree.
They navigated through the familiar paths until they reached a part of the woods Tony had never seen before. And there it was, an old wooden door embedded in the earth, covered in strange glowing symbols.
This is it.
Yeah, I haven't tried to open it yet. I wanted to wait for you.
Tony reached out and touched the door. It felt warm, almost alive under his fingertips. He exchanged a glance with Salish, and they both knew there was no turning back.
Ready?
Ready?
Together they pushed the door open, revealing a dark passageway that seemed to stretch infinitely. They stepped through, hand in hand, into the unknown. Or yeah, it may have been just their fantasy. Later, when the sun started to set, Tony and Salish ran back over the old rotten tree and ran through the slippery rain. As they changed roads, time almost felt like it went in slow motion. As Tony turned around and took a long last look at Salish, she waved in the rain.
See you soon, Sals.
See you soon, Tones.
She ran home, and Tony watched her for some minutes before running home.
Hey, Tony, help me with the outer house. A sun panel fell down.
Okay.
Don't be out too late, you two. It's very dark.
No worries, hon.
Hours passed, and the next day Tony was about to drive away for the day with his uncle. As they packed up the car, they drove past Salish's house, and Tony hesitated for a moment.
What's up? You forgotten something?
No, it was nothing.
The reality was that he wanted to bring Salish, but decided not to, and that choice ended up being the thing he regretted most of his life. The drive with his uncle was uneventful, filled with the usual small talk and countryside scenery. Yet Tony couldn't shake the feeling of unease. The thought of that mysterious door and the look in Salish's eyes kept creeping back into his mind.
You okay, Tony? You seem a bit distracted.
Yeah, just thinking about some stuff from school.
The rest of the day was a blur, with Tony's mind constantly drifting back to Forever and the strange door they had found. When he finally got home, the first thing he did was grab his phone and text Salish.
Hey, did you find anything else out about that door?
Minutes turned into hours, and there was no reply from Salish. Tony started to worry. She was usually quick to respond, especially about something so intriguing.
Maybe she's just busy.
The next morning, Tony decided he couldn't wait any longer. He ran over to Salish's house, but when he knocked on the door, her mother answered with a worried expression.
Oh, Tony. I was just about to call your parents.
What? What's wrong?
Salish's father came out from the door. He looked confused and took Mrs. Harper back inside before going out. Tears in his eyes, he told Tony to sit down and then sat down next to Tony.
Tony? We need to tell you something. Something heartbreaking.
Why? What happened?
Salish. Salish is dead.
Tony's eyes widened.
Her body was found in a river nearby. She drowned. She must have tried crossing the river on an old rotten tree. The tree broke and she fell, hitting her head. She couldn't swim because she was knocked out. You know, she loved you very much, Tony. Thank you, deeply, for being her friend. She She didn't have much luck around getting friends. But then you came, and she seemed to have found her true soulmate. Thanks. Deeply.
Tony didn't believe what he heard, so instead of answering, he ran to the forest and looked at the creek. And his worst fear imaginable was seen. The tree. It was laying there, broken in half, and with something looking like old blood far down on the tree. Tony's heart shattered as he stared at the broken tree, the remnants of his and Salish's last adventure together. The forest, once a place of solace and discovery, now felt like a haunting reminder of what he lost. He fell to his knees. Tears streamed down his face, whispering Salish's name into the wind.
Why did you have to go alone, Salish? Why?
The sorrow was almost too much to bear. Tony felt an overwhelming guilt gnawing at him, convinced that if he had stayed, if he had insisted on being with her, maybe he could have saved her. As he sat there, the rain began to pour, mingling with his tears, washing away the blood stains on the tree. He slowly walked back home, where he was met by his dad, Han, in the hallway. As soon as he saw Tony, he ran up to him, hugging him.
Oh, my dear boy, I was so worried about you. I thought you were dead too.
She's dead?
I'm sorry, honey, but yes.
Tony still did not really accept what happened. He ran back to the broken tree, looked down in the river, which was totally active. He cried his eyes out. As he sat on his knees before the land forever, he looked over and saw a piece of Salish's shirt hanging on a little sharp stick that must have been the hit on her head.
No. Why?
He reached over and grabbed the shirt piece and hugged it. He looked at the door standing silently on the other side of the creek, and he whispered,
I'm sorry, Salish. Whatever happens, I love you. Remember that I love you.
A strong wind gust came through as he said that, and his heart felt warm.
I guess nothing lasts forever.
The end.
You look around to see beauty die. You think you own everything waiting, but you don't see a thing. Love is like a game. Everything in between we need to see and cherish the seed for our world. We see a better place when you and me find grace. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing stands forever. Right here with us forever. It is not. Nothing lasts forever. Yesterday, when I felt our bodies decay, she was my light, my guarding sight, whatever she thought, but she was nice. I miss her laughs, I miss her games, I miss the silly plays she played. An empty platoon, an empty balloon. She is now gone up in the skies. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing stands forever. Right here with us forever. It is not. Nothing lasts forever.